She has made communication supremely simplified, and she makes your branding so sophisticated. So we have a very special lady in the show today who is helping your branding and a very important discipline elevated to a completely new level. What is this game? It's PR, public relations. Whether you are a small and medium business or an enterprise, this is a discipline that you will certainly need to take your brand out there. And she is the one who supports you in that task. So she is the founder, CEO of Good PR, Nevindee Amarasinghe. So she has developed this stunning concept, Good PR, which is all about public relations and powering businesses with PR events and so many other initiatives that helps you to take your brand to the public and elevate it to a completely new level. So without further ado, let's get started and find out what her venture is and what her story is all about. Hi Nevindee, how are you?
Hi Nanika, thank you so much for inviting, and I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, and thank you so much for your time. So to get started with, how was Good PR set up? I would like to know whether this was a planned initiative. Did you, as a child back then, wanted to have your own venture? Did you have a knack for events and public speaking and all of that? Or was this just a random thought that you had somewhere in life and you wanted to leverage whatever the talent you had?
Okay, so going back to my younger days, I always wanted to do some business by myself. Wanted to start some business, and then at the age of 16 I initiated a consultancy, like a community called the Sky Media Consultants. So a young set of people, graphic designers to web developers and event managers and marketeers, we got together and we made this organization called Sky Media Consultants, which is no more, but we had the knack of doing this whole entrepreneur thing. We participated for events even when I was 16, because I started at the age of 16-17 only to really to work in a company. And then I did a few ventures, but I failed in all those ventures. And finally 2019, right after the Easter attack, this whole idea was born, Good PR. And my friend was pushing me at that time. I had a friend called Hansini. She told me, Nevindee, you can do it. You can't just always work for other people. I think you can do it. I said yes. I failed many times. I was really scared of this failure, don't know whether I'll fail. So I was not confident to start. But she pushed me to an extent where I really registered my company, the website, to the name, the logo, everything, the people who supported me. And then when I started, I got the hang of it. Taking a risk is not a problem at all. It's good to take risk. People won't be there with you forever. So I took the risk. I built this up because I have the ability of communicating with people in the best possible ways, public rapport and rapport building skills. I was in customer care, event management, marketing, advertising, so different sectors together. I thought maybe I'll pull something together. So finally Good PR was born, and here we are today having this conversation.
So success built on so many failures is just priceless, and the result is as vibrant as you can see. You are a very beautiful personality, Nevindee, and I have personally worked with Good PR for Inspire Me PR work. I would like to also talk about what sort of initiative Good PR does in addition to public relations. So would you like to talk about the service stack? What you're offering now and even the plans for the future.
Yeah. So Good PR as a public relations company, we do have other services inside, like event management and video production, where we do consultancy for companies for digital PR and social media, a lot of things. And I would like to tell that our company is also a community-based PR company. We always think about the community. It's not just talking. I mean, talking everybody can do. but we really initiate a lot of projects, with the community. Like recently we initiated plugging, picking up garbage on the road while jogging. So things like that. We do that, and we have a very young, talented, number of people who are with us. And not only PR, we do a lot of other things as well. Yeah.
Yes. So PR, as I think this is not a usual venture that we see every day on social media. It's not a product. It's not food and beverage. It's not entertainment. It's partially entertainment. The sort of services you do, events and all that. And it's not fashion. It's not apparel. This is a unique skill. A PR related venture requires a unique set of skills, and it is a different ball game.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get into PR, and do the sort of work that you would like, you are doing now, or if if someone wants to do PR for their own brand, because public relations is something that you can't avoid. In any business, whether you are a small business or an enterprise, like I said at the introduction, you need to carry your brand out there, and the vehicle to do that is PR. One vehicle. So if someone wants to get into this, or if someone wants to leverage PR to make their brand look better, what sort of research should they do? What skill set should they develop? Let's talk about how you got into this and what sort of things you learned.
Yeah. So when I initially found out that I'm really good at customer care and talking to people and selling things, I am a marketeer. I studied marketing at Sri Lanka Institute of Marketing, and I believe PR is revolving around a lot of things. So I'm inviting all the people, all the youngsters and the youth, if they do not know what PR is, to search what it is online. And also there are a few things that I will tell you towards the end of the conversation where the youth can come into this and they can learn about PR, because PR is not just talking. One of my colleagues, Fiona, she was having a chat. She's actually also a PR company, a news publisher. She was telling me, Nevindee, people do think that we are only talking, that we are not doing any, like real work. I mean, we do real work. What I meant by that was, it's not only about just a press release on the newspaper. We build brands, we talk about stories. It's about storytelling. So inspiration for this company and this whole PR thing, also came, I really can't recall the names, but my father was one of the inspirations that I really, thought he was, because he's a journalist as well, and he has a journalism media background, but I was like, okay, I'm good at it as well. So I thought, let me start it. And then going back to my chat with my colleague, she was telling, this industry has a lot to offer to the public. Interviews, to press conferences, to digital PR. Now everything is online, so people need to understand that doing a press release is not just one-off. You need to give time as well. It takes a little time, because you need to work with the brand for a few months or so to properly go out. And all the SMEs, the small business, the small medium entrepreneurs, I would like to invite them to come into, come and talk to us. We have a lot of PR companies in Sri Lanka. Talk to us and, get information so that we can help you out to, build your reputation and your brand.
So her father has been, I think, the first inspiration behind your career in PR. Also, I'm sure you have had a lot of other international level inspirations as well. It's important to discuss that as well. Maybe the audience, some of you want to get into PR. There are so many other industries or businesses that you would like to get into, but it's nice to look at a good inspiration, a good benchmark, and learn from them. So who are your inspirations besides your father?
So when it comes to PR, there are a lot of PR personalities which I really can't recall the names, but they're like really top people in the world, in America. But maybe a storyteller who's really famous, a lot of people know, a video storyteller, that is also PR, Nas Daily, right? He's one of the top storytellers in the world. He tells stories about everything, different people, different talents. So there are a lot of people in the world and in the industry. Well, it's just one click away for you to search online, but certainly I'll give some names maybe on the YouTube underneath
Sure.
the video. I can maybe pop some names so you can know what it is all about. So you should not be stuck with your own local culture, but you need to go beyond and above and research and get to know about the digital trends and international trends, because it's all about knowing what other countries also do. Otherwise we will only be with our culture. So it's not to say that anything wrong with our culture, it's just we need to also adapt and grasp some kind of knowledge from the European culture as well, for us to develop and extend our scale when it comes to PR. Yeah.
Sure, I mean, it's a good way of taking Sri Lanka out of Sri Lanka to the global arena. So it's definitely something that SMBs and entrepreneurs should think about. Starting in Sri Lanka, in your roots, within your roots, is something amazing. That's what you obviously have to do. That's what we all do.
Yeah.
But eventually, if you can take the Sri Lankan brand name overseas to the international market, that would be really good. So for that, I think getting inspired by global brands is something that you have to do.
Yeah.
So speaking of PR, Nevindee, it has evolved so much. It keeps evolving as we speak.
Yeah.
20-25 years ago, decades ago, PR was pretty much on radio, TV and newspapers.
Yeah.
It was on printed media. But now the digital, the digitization, digital marketing, this proliferation has completely changed the PR game.
Yeah.
How have you changed your venture to stay in line with this? And for SMBs out there, entrepreneurs who would like to do their own PR, what sort of initiatives or how should they upgrade themselves without restricting their PR efforts only to Instagram, Facebook? What's your thought?
Yeah, so when it comes to PR, we initially, like I said, it's not always about the press releases that we see on the newspaper or the TV, the radio. I mean, it's also, you need to go out and, you need to create activities where, like events, we need to create conversations, interviews, where, the conversation is not just stuck. Even right now, this is a PR conversation.
Yeah.
It's PR based, like your reputation, my reputation, and it's an interview. So it falls under PR, right? So just like that, there are a lot of things where people think, no, it's no point of doing it, we won't get the leverage. But the leverage and the whole awareness is built within a time frame. So you can't expect sales to come in with just one article, just one interview. You need to keep creating conversations. The best example, a youth climate activist, Greta Thunberg, she created a massive impact at the UN summit. And right now, she's a well-known Sweden climate activist. She keeps creating conversations. We have Asha Devos in Sri Lanka. She creates conversations about the ocean, the wellness of the well-being of the ocean, and she keeps creating that. And the whole storytelling aspect of it only goes out within a time frame. There's an impact.
Sure.
So I believe you shouldn't limit it to one thing.
Yeah.
It is, like you said, it's evolving at the moment as well. And now the Zoom technology where people are having interviews, it's pretty tough, for the traditional PR people to move into the digital, the normal. It's difficult, but still, this is the right thing, because we need to stick with the current trends. So yeah.
Yes. So it's no longer on papers, radio and TV. It's definitely digital, and there are so many other flavors in PR now, including events and especially storytelling, I guess. So if you would like to use PR, leverage PR to take your brand to the next level, I think all these mechanisms, all these strategies will certainly help you. And don't expect results overnight, like Nevindee said.
Absolutely.
It definitely takes time. But if you want to strategically plan your PR journey. I think teams like Good PR is definitely out there to obtain support, so please reach out to them. And we were in conversation with Nevindee Amarasinghe, founder CEO of Good PR, a PR agency that I personally love. I don't like to call it an agency, I would like to say a PR influencer. Influencer marketing, I guess, is very, misused these days, but it's accurately practiced by certain practitioners like Nevindee and Good PR. That's why I have so much respect for you, Nevindee, because it's been nicely, professionally practiced by you.
Thank you.
So we discussed quite a few things on how Good PR was set up, skills, inspirations that you should have if you want to get into this. Finally, Nevindee, what advice can you give to the upcoming entrepreneurs? Although you are in PR, I'm sure you have a lot of ideas, advice to give to the next generation, female and male entrepreneurs, if they want to start something on their own.
First thing I would say is never be afraid to take a risk. I mean, all of us, we have taken risks, when other people say just don't do it, like we just have to do it twice or maybe 10 times and prove it, not to them, maybe prove it to yourself, and then you just do it. And for the up and coming media PR personalities, I would like to invite, we as a company, we are planning to initiate an academy for PR and media, and this academy will also be a helping hand to the upcoming media and the PR personalities. Not only my company, it will be a lot of other personalities like other PR companies joining hands with us and teaching their best skills for the up and coming PR influencers. And confidence is something that's there in you. You just need to polish it a little bit maybe, and you don't need to worry if there's nobody around you. You still have yourself and the trust and the confidence that you have. You can certainly win life or anything. So that's my advice to everybody. If there's anything, please reach out to us. If you're okay, I can tell my website.
Sure, yeah.
It will be the www.thegoodpr.com, and our Instagram and Facebook pages are there. We are also one of the companies in Sri Lanka, PR companies, which is operating 24 hours. So you can reach out to us at any time. And thank you.
Thank you. So accepting risks and having an amazing degree of confidence about yourself takes you a long way. That's what she echoes in her conversation. And what I learned from you is, Nevindee, in this conversation is that failure is definitely not a reason to stop, because you are a person who had encountered a series of failures and built success on top of that, which is just amazing. So like Nevindee said, she's just a DM away. Her entire Good PR team is just a DM away. So we will mention her social media channels at the bottom of this video and as well as in the description. So please feel free to reach out to them for advice and even to leverage their PR services. So you were watching a new episode of Inspire Me, the stepping stone for future female entrepreneurs. So this is our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, and if you have any comments or feedback, why don't you pop them below. We are happy to read them and respond. Even if you like to feature your venture on Inspire Me, reach out to us on Facebook and Instagram at inspireme.ceylon. Our website is www.inspireme.lk, and you can even email us at hi@inspireme.lk. So those are the ways to get in touch with us, and when we have another exciting, inspiring conversation like this, you will see that conversation also coming up on our channel. So subscribe and hit on the bell icon as well. We will bring another conversation like this to you very soon. Until then, take care, stay safe. Thank you for being with us.